Alright, Red Faction. So, today, we're going to read the TWID, the TWAB, whatever the heck is you want to call it, for this week. So, May 2nd, 2024, this is what we got. This week in Destiny, we're fine-tuning our PvP loadouts. We got 3 beautiful new Crucible maps coming next week. That's next week already, holy crap. And we want to make sure we're ready. So, grab that rose that you've been dominating with and let's get into it. Rose? I'm using Blast Furnace. The launch of the PvP map pack, Pantheon boss profiles, Pantheon Bungie rewards, new rival reputation and exotic system, Final Shape shader icon revamp, Strike Team update, Super Black shader, and Windows 7 and 8 decryption. Interesting. I wonder what they mean by that. PvP map pack. This update on May 7th. 3 new maps will be coming to the Crucible. Cyrus Plaza, Eventide Labs, and Tisanosis. we gave our first look at these maps last month during our Into the Light Dev livestream number 3. In that livestream, we provide a walkthrough of each map with discussion around our design goals, creation process, and artistic considerations with developing this map. If you haven't checked it out, go watch it here. With only a few days left until the release, we wanted to take a look at these maps from a slightly different angle. That's why we partnered with our favorite community cartographer, Relkic, to develop map overviews. We've been fans for his call it maps for years, and we're thrilled to work with him on this new set of Crucible maps. Let's take a look and dive in. So, Eventide Labs is set in a long-forgotten human colony research outpost on Europa that Aramis chose as a refueling station. So we see the servitor. Well, this is the call-out map. So, of course, servitor, air dock, foyer, loading bay, staging, upper glacier, generator, ice caves, lower glacier, promenade, warehouse. So, special, heavy, special, special, A, B, C, middle of the map, trials capture zone, initial spawns. This is going to be weird. So it's going to be like, you spawn on by A, run over, grab your special, go to staging, and you try to meet Upper Glacier. They'll do the same thing there to generator to Upper Glacier. So this is where the fight's going to be. It might go down to foyer, go to the loading bay, or if it's here, they'll go up to warehouse to Dream Promenade, and they'll. It seems that like if the trials map spawns here, the team that spawns near A will have an easier time because they can get set up, while this team won't, unless you run up through here. It seems like you can. With initial spawn points near A at the warehouse and near C point at Ice Cave, players will make their way to contest the servitor area that holds point B and the valuable heavy ammo crate. But be careful, while the interior of the map by the promenade and Upper Glacier is more close-quarter battle phase, only a handful of larger sight lines in the space between air dock and loading bay means you can ensure that you have to approach carefully or you'll be on the wrong side of a sniper rifle. Yeah, okay, you say that and that's why you nerf snipers a lot. Next map takes us to Neptune, Cyrus Plaza, set in the shopping and entertainment center on Neomuna. So let's see. It seems that Aquarium and Turbines will have the trial spawn points. This seems like it's going to be a bigger map. It's going to be set for like close to mid-range fights with some long engagements as well. So it's basically going to be a run and gun. Basically, you want to make sure you have distance with close range. If you always wanted a PvP on the Terraform Pyramid ship, that's what we got. That's what we got for you. So this is how these maps are going to work. The trials spawn points are going to be like Overlook and Bloom. Core and Monument will have the initial spawn zones. This really seems like it's going to be that kind of close to long map, depending. It has 3 different trials capture zones, which is kind of different from the other 2. Oh no, you have 3. Okay. Where's it? No, that's why I couldn't see because it's right in the middle. Okay. Oh, that's interesting, at least. When these maps were up on May 7th, they'll be in a separate 3v3 playlist called New Territory, so you can enjoy the new experience of these maps offered on demand. This playlist will replace the 3v3 quick play node and feature 3 maps in the following game modes: Survival, Elimination, Clash, and Collision. Be sure to pick up the introductory request from checks for more details on the maps and playlists. Additionally, while New Territories is a designated playlist for new maps, the maps will be available in other playlists and the private lobby as usual. Lastly, New Territory will be available until the end of the season, at which point any player who engaged in the playlist will be rewarded with the Slaycation emblem. Interesting. Pantheon Boss Deep Dive. The Pantheon is upon us. The new PvE Raid Gauntlet opened this week, featuring 4 bosses as part of the first raid. With more bosses on the way each week, we wanted to take a moment to highlight the targets you've been tasked with taking down. So, Vanguard, Guardian Dispatch, All Points Bulletin, Defenders of the City. You are tasked with the elimination of the following targets: Golgoroth, Classification Hive, Blood of Oryx, Ogre, Worm. Hazards: Void Eye Beam, Venomous Gaze, Unstable Light, Monster Strength and Durability. Intel: Ogres are forged through torturous trials and dark rituals from corrupted and deformed thralls known as Unborn. They know only pain and are conditioned to hate and despise the light. Golgoroth is a hive ogre, infested with a burrowing parasite related to the worm gods and committed to the Oryx's service. One of the most powerful ogres ever known, Golgoroth is felled aboard the Dreadnought by the same brave fire team that delivered the Taken King his final death. Vanguard operators uncovered that Golgoroth was enlisted as a vessel of both tithe violence directly to Oryx and corrupt hordes of stolen light from Oryx's conquest. The ogre's flesh also served as a containment for a tablet of ruin. Of note, recovered from Golgoroth's remain, tablet of ruin 1. The item has been vaulted for proper containment. Cipher hypothesized that Golgoroth was fond of flower petals. Daughters of Savathun would send warriors with petals stuffed beneath their chitin as a deadly delight for the ogre. Okay. Caretaker. Classification: Scorn, Abomination, Altered. Resonant, Elixni, Former House, Unknown. Worm, Altered. Hazards: Scale, Bees. The fucking bees. Overcharged Ether Blast, Sacred Deteriorization, and Resonant Empowerment. Slain by the intrepid fire team that stormed the sunken pyramid in the fetid court of Savathun. The caretaker is a being of which we know little. It resembles a scorned abomination, but that has been subject to several experiments and is believed to be a host to a worm. The caretaker was instructed with a collection of worm spawn, as well as other entities the Witness and Rolk had obtained to be analyzed and stored within the pyramid. Reports from fire teams raiding the sunken pyramid mention that the caretaker appears to be both a victim and the overseer of the experiments, seeking to fuse worm and scorn together. Of note. Intel of note, they've kind of split these up, I don't know why. Multiple fire teams have commented that what appears to be pet mutations that are believed to belong to the caretaker, whether these are rejected experiments or unsacred creations, isn't known. There is a discrepancy in the number of worm spawn marked as collected from the pyramid and those delivered to the tower's vault containment. Guardians who have information regarding their whereabouts should submit a report to Vanguard leadership. Atrax 1, Fallen Exo, the Wild Card. Classification: Elixni. Exos: House of Salvation, Baroness. Ex-House of Devil, Council. Hazards: Modified Shark Rifle, Extinction Protocol, Self-Replication, Teleport, Stasis Empowerment. Intel. Of note. Exos are humanoid machines that house a living mind. Atrax 1 obtained this technology from a Braytech station orbiting Europa. Atrax mind commands multiple copies of her exo frame. Before converting her form, Atrax acted as a counsel to Aramis Kell of House Salvation for many years. Atrax was entrusted with the command of the Deepstone Crypt. She was destroyed by the Guardian fire team that brought the Morningstar down from orbit. Atrax 1 created multiple copies of herself to deceive foes, Fire teams encountering this tactic in the future are advised to locate the original target and focus on a simultaneous strike. Atrex was at one time seen as the voice of reason, an orator, able to speak to the hearts of the delinquency youths in the House of Salvation. The Hidden have relayed rumors that a copy of Atrex's mind exists, stored somewhere on Europa. This is yet to be verified. At least 2 of the 6 initial fireteam members that destroyed Atrex believe they destroyed a clone and that the real Atrex one still lives. This is under investigation. Atrex one was known to prefer synthetic lubricant when undergoing maintenance. She likes to be lubed up, I guess. Oh. Some believe they killed the actual Atrex one. Is this how they're going to change certain aspects of, different raids? Maybe. Zorak. Dude of planets. Classification: manufactured. Cabal Shadow. Legion Incendior. A clone. Hazards: Cabal Magma Launcher. Searing Beam. A column of flame. The frickin' tornado. Magma Launcher Compression Blast. Paracausal Shielding. Resonant Empowerment. Zorak is a Cabal clone created by the deposed Emperor Callus and is assigned to a detachment of the Shadow Legion forces aboard the Witness's personal pyramid ship. According to Vanguard decryption teams, Zorak was granted the title Expliciter of Planets, has served a collection of worlds conquered by the Black Fleet for an unknown purpose. Preliminary theories span weighing the worlds for discipleship to searching for the veil or a method of contributing to the final shape. Reports conclude that even the Shadow Legion was not immune to Nezarek's torment. Zorak details his own nightmares and more reports of nightmares and violent incidents among his forces. Zorak's personal logs have been decoded. It seems whatever their official goal was, they were personally cataloging worlds that had once been a part of the Cabal Empire, but were no more. Oh, well, that's interesting, at least. The Pantheon Bungee rewards. With the thrill of the hunt wasn't enough, your success in the Pantheon will nab you not only some in-game loot, but the opportunity to add to some heroic Bungee rewards to forever mark your accomplishments, including the Godslayer title pin and the Pantheon Raid Ring. Pantheon Raid Ring features a legendary re-envision of our iconic first Raid Ring launched in 2022. Beyond the striking ranked symbol of the focus, owners that will also have a private reminder of the importance of loyalty in the face of adversity. Etched on the inside of it reads, "Glory comes easy when you have allies you can trust." The epitome of strength and camaraderie. The Pantheon Raid Ring stands as a testament to valor and unity found in the heat of battle. This special Bungee reward is available for purchase only to those who complete all encounters from any tier of the Pantheon in Destiny 2 by June 3rd. The Godslayer pin will also be available for purchase via Bungee reward for players who complete the Godslayer title by June 3rd. So you have a month. The experience of grinding out new exotic armor can be a time-consuming process. It can take quite a few runs to get the drop you're looking for, and many more to get one that has stats to support your build. Besides that, with the exotic armor piece often forming the backbone of a powerful build, new players are regularly asked to spend a long time tackling challenging combat solo before they're able to run builds that support the most effective tasks. Luckily, the Econ team has established a good working relationship with the tower's #1 Cryptarch over the last year, as we add exotic armor focusing. And we have managed to get Raoul set up with a new promotionary program that makes farming the armor you want more deterministic and less dependent on rotators. Starting in the final shape, Raoul is going to be the source for any new exotic armor we release. When you first talk to Raoul after the final shape launch, he will introduce you to a new rewards program tied to his brand new reputation track. The idea is simple. The more you decode engrams with him, the more you will increase rep with him. Once you completely fill the reputation task once and reset it, Raoul will allow you into the Elite Club, giving you access to a new tier of focusing. Once you become one of Raoul's engram insiders, he's very proud of the name, so be nice to him, you'll be able to purchase any piece of exotic armor from any character on your account for 1 exotic engram and 1 exotic cipher. In addition, the previous focus in addition to the previous focusing options, because role is tied to a new reputation track, there is no weekly limit to this tier of focusing. As long as you have exotic ciphers and engrams, you can keep rolling armor. With this change, we are also altering the way the old source of exotic armors will work. First, lost sectors will still keep the same drop rates for exotics, but will instead drop engrams whenever they would have previously dropped gear. Neomuna will still drop exotic armor when you complete a Vex Strike Force, but we won't be adding any more new armor drop to the list after Season of the Wish. With these changes, we know you're wondering, how long will it take to get this new fangled tier of focusing? I've got the world's first raid fist to Verfor and what. Without going to exact numbers, the actions that will give the most reputation to be a precision decryption, aka tier 2 focusing, followed by advanced decryption, then opening an exotic engram, and last but not least, opening a prime engram. If you want to be ready for the witness forces as soon as possible, make sure to stock up on any exotic engrams and ascendant shards before June 4th. As with a little bit more than a full stock of exotic engrams, you'll be able to start focusing new armor. So basically, horde exotic engrams. Like literally like the week before final shape drops, just go and get as many exotic engrams as you can on all your characters. Prime engrams, meh. Just hoard them a bunch of exotics in your normal thing. Shader icon revamp. With the final shape, we're upgrading the look and design of our icon shader layout. Shaders are the core way a player can provide a unique look and feel to their Guardian. We want to help continue to make that a better experience. Our goal with this update is to make the shader icons more accurately reflect the colors and textures they'll apply. Oh, so now when I get a shader that, says, okay, there's green and black, and then somehow blue appears. Currently, there are some issues that can make the experience of applying a shader inconsistent. First being that each shader applies 6 colors. Only the 4 are currently shown on the shader icon. This sometimes results in the shader appearing differently than the players expect. Adding to this is the fact that all 4 color sections of the current shader are equal to the size and shape, making it difficult to distinguish between what the main colors will be. There's also many shaders that are unique glows that players strive for, and with the current design, they're not represented. Gambit Jadestone is a perfect example. So this is the current one that we have. To help address these issues, we've made updates to the shader icon design that includes all 6 of the colors for that shader. We're also changing the design in a way that makes the primary color appear to take more space than the secondary colors for a more accurate representation with most gear. Glows are also being reflected in this design update, so it'll be easy to distinguish those shaders. Okay. We tested many different designs for this goal, and we eventually settled on adding a diamond to the center of the current icon design and changing the layout. Okay. So these are the primary 2 colors, and these are the secondary colors that get added. So you have this green, this black, and then this will show the glow. There's also a darker black, a kind of lighter gray, a lighter green, and a very dark green. Okay, I don't mind that. PvP Strike Team Update. Hello everyone, PvP Strike Team here to talk about the special ammo in the Crucible. Since update 7.3.5, we've been doing a substantial amount of iterations for our special ammo distribution systems. We tried the meter system in multiple playlists, as well as 2 different versions of the special ammo crate systems in competitive hardware and for a limited time in trials. Some people ask why we're bothering to do this level of experimentation, and we'd like to explain. The respawn system. The original special ammo distribution system was brought in the game with Forsaken, and combined with allowing players to pick up ammo from defeated opponents, it eventually peaked in a short period of time where special ammo clipped primary weapons for final blows in the Crucible. We walked it back several times, mostly focusing on how much ammo you would pick up from bricks on the ground, but we still but we were still left with a position of one-shot kill special weapons, making a substantial percentage of the Crucible final blows and contributing to many issues with the sandbox readability we've discussed before. While the respawn system had its issues, we felt there was some room for improvement. It did do a decent job at balancing enemy distribution between high and low performing players, and with high performing players on average using special ammo 1.5 to 2 times more than low performing players. Similarly, the years of the system in place special ammo's meta had solidified nicely. Shotguns were at top of around 47% special kills. Snipers and fusions managed to make up 43%, and on all other special weapons with the remaining 10%. When investigating changes to the respawn system, it became apparent that we were very limited in terms of how we could tune the system to get the desired effects, and that led us to investigate 2 additional systems. While we wanted to be able to solve the problem of one too many one-hit kills in PvP, it was important to us that the new system did not introduce new and potentially worse problems. The meter system. To understand the meter system, we first need to take you through its development. The system was originally intended to be experimental, utilizing only temporary LAS mode checkmate. It was built using the combination of other systems co-opted from various parts of the game that allowed us to do things we don't usually do in Crucible, like retain the state of the meter between lives and between rounds. The invisible stat on the scoreboard sometimes reads back every time you respawn. Dropping ammo directly to the player in a transmat, an invisible ammo crate that opens directly above you and then deletes itself. Carrying the full amount of ammo over between deaths, utilizing the logical system we use in PvE activities to re-grant you ammo on respawn. And to display the current progress of the meter, the UI borrowed from the exotic, weapon, and activity buffs. Reception in the system in Checkmate was mixed, but we saw there was a lot of potential with our first truly earnable special ammo system. Since its introduction, we have iterated on several ways, including earlier this week, and have gotten it to a more acceptable state. Unfortunately, as the meter system has been exposed to the wider game for an extended period, we run into 2 core issues which have us required to look at possible solutions. Balance issues. The overall balance of the meter system is wider in the sandbox has been concerning. It primarily benefits one player type over all others, with players who routinely perform above average in the lobbies getting double the benefits of having more special ammo than while their opponents have much less. In the meter system, high-performing players earning 3.5 times the rate of lower players, a delta which has led to many non-high-performing players abandoning the special ammo entirely. In competitive, for example, with the meter system in use, low-performing players were more likely to get kills with heavy weapons than they were with special weapons. The weapon balance has become similarly one-sided. It promotes shotguns as the main solution, and all other specials are perceived as no longer useful in most players when they ammo-limited situation. Under the meter system, shotguns have more than 76% of special weapon kills, while fusions and snipers are reduced to combined 8, and the rest only make up 6. This led to the very get richer meta, where the best performing players and weapons are even stronger by comparison without having to do anything differently. Earlier this week, we took steps to improve these issues, but the difficulty we face in the system where special ammo is almost entirely earned is that we have limited room to close the gap between high performers and low performers. Before it functionally becomes everyone gets special ammo on a timer, which is something we like to avoid. Yeah, low performing players that kind of don't want to run shotguns and everything, you make it harder for them to do this, and you make just use a shotgun. That's what you've done. And with all the other stuff you've done with snipers and everything, you really made that show off really. But it's like, yeah, we want shotguns to be meta. That's basically what you've told us. Run the high performing, sniper high performing shotgun, or just run double special or run just double primary and don't worry about your special system. It's kind of what you've told us. Hold on a second. I gotta look at something. Check my vault real quick. I mean, you have basically made this become a. You basically said to us, we want a shotgun meta with all this because now you can just have hand cannons or scout rifles or pulses that can do far away damage, and then you instantly a shotgun. So that way, while you're running through the map and you encounter an enemy, just move on to the next one. That's what kind of it seems like, especially when you add increased flinch to sniper rifles and all these other things. And then you take away the targeting, which has helped, but it doesn't fully help. You have a sniper. Oh, I try to get a snipe line. They just get flinched to oblivion. They eventually change and run a shotgun. This is why you have that problem. Technical issues. Balance problems aside, being built on tech that was not designed to be used in this way has exposed multiple issues that, upon investigation, we determined that could not be easily fixed in the meter's current state. Some things, like being unable to notify opponents that an ammo transmit has occurred or giving starting ammo on a joint in progress, are already apparent to players. Other problems, which are far more significant, appear in the back end and affect how we handle several in the processes, impacting our ability to balance both and maintain the system in the long term. Functionally, these combined issues require us to rebuild the meter from the ground up as a new dedicated system, which we feel has shown enough merit that it's something that we are undertaking for a future release. The crate system. As a potential fallback for the meter system, special ammo crates was resurfaced and iterated upon. The crate system has several benefits from a design perspective, including the ability to place crates in key zones around the map to encourage player movement in non-objective or objective optional modes, and prevent a coagulation around a single power position, as well as offering the ability to delay special weapon pushes in round-based modes. The crate system is also, based on its time in competitive trials, has done some positive things in terms of moving special ammo distribution to healthier values. The delta between high-performing players and low-performing players is moved back to 2.4 times and has led to less late-game snowballing, as which players who try to hoard special ammo loses upon death. Weapon balance is similarly improved, though not optimal, and the significantly increased variety of shotguns coming down to 57% of the kills, and fusions and snipers combining 28% of the kills, and all others at 13. Yeah, but shotguns are still way too high because you make them too easy to use. Whereas snipers, you have to actually aim, but, again, you don't want them to be good. Ultimately, the crate system is an isolation that has several major problems. It can present a frustrating amount of friction between playing the game, how you want to play the game, and how you need to play the game because you want to run a special weapon. In addition, in round-based modes, it is too frictionless to run double special weapons. It also is the first system we have introduced that allows players to directly influence the special ammo economy of the opposing team, as controlling most crates can help starve the enemy team of special. From a strategic perspective, this is an interesting mechanic, but there is no other way to earn special ammo in gameplay. It serves to be more frustrating than fun, and many players have struggled to adapt to the change, causing additional friction when playing in match-made teams. The blended 1-1-1 system. Each of the above listed systems has both positives and negatives. In isolation, each system helps and hurts a different part of the population, but none of them solve the special ammo problem. The respawn system offers a safe distribution of ammo amongst players, and the ease of availability promotes a special weapon diversity, but giving 2 kills worth to every player's life is resulting in far too many one-hit kills for a healthy sandbox. The meter system allows players to earn special ammo in a deterministic way to increase the rate that you're earning if you're playing well, which feels rewarding for high-performing players. On the other hand, for low-performing players, it's worse and promotes a homogeneous special weapon meta. The crate system allows us to promote movement around the map, altering push timings, rewarding map control, and gives players more direct control, but also causes friction by forcing conflict with optimal player flows in between match-made teams, and it also allows too much special in a round-based mode. The solution we have settled on is the blended system, as we're referring to as 1-1-1, taking parts of each above system and combining them to solve the problem introduced to each system individually. So, players will respawn each life with 1 kill worth of special ammo from their chosen weapon. This serves as a stopgap for players to make sure they are never going long amounts of time with an empty weapon, and encourage more players to continue utilizing special weapons, I bet in a limited fashion. Setting the ammo at 1 instead of 2 kills ensures that there's not a surplus of special ammo that is available for minimum effort. Spawning with 1 also functions as a healthy midpoint between spawning with none of the crates in the system and retaining all ammo with the meter. All primary weapon final blows will drop a personal ammo brick that rewards 1 kill's worth of special ammo. This is our deterministic, earnable method of distributing ammos in the blended system until the purpose-built version of the ammo meter is ready. What this means is that any of your final blows with a primary weapon will drop an ammo brick that you can pick up, regardless of whether the opponent you defeated had special ammo on them. Likewise, if you defeat an opponent who has special ammo using a special ammo weapon, they will not drop a brick on the ground. So like the meter system, you can't use a special weapon to directly earn more special. We initially introduced this specific position portion into the competitive playlist starting next week to help address players' complaints about the economy in these modes. Crates will continue to exist, but their icon visibility range on the HUD has been decreased, and they will only provide a single kill's worth of special when opened. These crates systems will continue to serve as a point of interest around the map, but will no longer be a requirement for players to interact with for them to take part in the special ammo system. They will instead function as a small bonus for players who take the time to engage with them, and an optimal midpoint step for players to gain special ammo that is more effort than simple respawning with it, but less effort than getting a primary weapon kill. We're excited to introduce this system sometime after the launch of the final shape, and we greatly appreciate your patience and feedback as we continue to experiment in our ongoing effort to improve Crucible. Okay. There was a lot to unpack there. Like a lot. So basically, what's going to happen after the final shape, okay, is when you spawn into the Crucible, you'll have 1 insta-kill way or 1 kill's worth of special ammo. So that means for certain weapons, it might be 4, because, like, let's say you're using an exotic sidearm that has special. You know, you're using Forerunner or using Buried Bloodline. It takes about 4 shots to kill someone with it. Shotguns will get 1, snipers will get 1, fusions will get 1. That kind of thing. It's just interesting how they're gonna do this.
I gotta go back here. We're a while and helper.
You gonna take beer there?
Yep.
Why?
Just want some.
But now, instead of how it was like kind of before, you'll get a primary weapon kill. That will drop a brick, kind of like it did before. That is going to be 1 kill's worth of special ammo. But even if someone's running double primary, you don't have to worry about not getting any. But if you get a kill with the special, you won't get it back, because primaries will drop specials, specials won't. It's kind of what they're saying. What are they gonna do about heavies then? Will heavies drop specials? Super Black is back. There you go. If you're a hunter or a player of any class, you'll want to grab this new shader and look your finest. Yeah, it doesn't look bad, but I know hunters are going crazy right now. Beginning on June 4th, Destiny 2 is ending support for Windows 7, Windows 8, and Windows 8.1 OSs. This is a decision to align with the Steam and Microsoft ending support for these systems. Destiny 2 may continue running on these older operating systems after it, but we are unable to guarantee a continued functionality after that date. Players using these operating systems to play Destiny 2 are urged to upgrade to the most recent versions of Windows or move to another platform so their playtime won't be interrupted. Yeah, just come to PlayStation. Why not? Pantheon checkpoints. Due to an issue preventing players from progressing the Pantheon when joining a checkpoint, we've disabled checkpoints for the caretaker and Zorak. We're attempting to resolve this as soon as possible to provide an update. Archie quest information. We've seen confusion surrounding the weekly Archie quests and want to offer clarification. These quests are only intended to be available for 1 week each and are made with this time limit in mind. We understand that this is not ideal for all players, which is why we made the shader available for one completion of any of the weekly quests. The lore attached to these triumphs will be available to all players when the final drape launches on account. Yeah, this needs to be fixed. Movies of the week and art of the week. That's everything for this week. Hopefully you're enjoying Pantheon so far. Remember, this is only the first wave of bosses and more on the way. It only gets more fun from here, and we swear that wasn't an evil laugh that we were stifling. It was just a cough. We'll be back with another TWID next week. Until then, be good, and thanks for hanging out with us, Destiny Community Team. This was a lot of stuff. I mean, between lore on some of the enemies, to looking at the new PvP maps, to talking about the PvP, to icon shader stuff, where it's going to be more, you're going to be able to more see properly what you want for these builds. But with that being said, Red Faction, I will see you all later. I think I'm going to be doing a Blast Furnace review. I don't do a lot of review videos a lot, but I think it's time for us to do it. So starting, we're going to do our first ever weapon review because I really like the Blast Furnace and I love the fact that it's back. But that video will be up tomorrow. With that being said, everyone, hope you guys have a great day. And either I'll see you tomorrow in the next video, or I'll see you on Sunday in the next live stream. Have a good one, y'all.